Sonia Heckerton Stitchwitch, and I'm going to talk about how I engage with my dowsing rods and how I use tarot cards. This was a question that came across from one of my viewers, and I thought I would elaborate on it and make a video instead. So dowsing rods, when you receive them, they're just copper rods. Traditionally, I believe they're used for finding sources of water and things like that. But you can engage with them and connect with the spirit realm. As a medium, I can actually feel and sense them as they're working. But everybody's different. Everybody's level of sensitivity is different. So let's get into how I prepared myself to use the dowsing rods and how I prepare the rods to be used. So I go through a pretty elaborate ritual previous to starting to use my rods, because I believe I'm also a tool for divination. And this is based on just my instincts and my feelings spiritually. This is me. I've noticed other people who are doing tarot card readings and who give readings. They also proceed with a special ritual every time they decide to divinate, because they realize that they're a tool as well. So before I started using the dowsing rods, I blessed them. So I had a whole ceremony with them. I called in my spirit guides. I called in my deities. And I had a candle blessing ceremony with them to bring them in first. After I had the ceremony with them, I was prepared to use them. I have boundaries with my all my tools, with my tarot cards, and with everything. I have boundaries. This is why I'm Heckerton Stitch Witch, because I had to get firm with my boundaries. Because if you aren't firm, then you will allow things in, and you will allow manipulation. You have to have strong boundaries. You have to be able to say no, banish, and things like that, okay? So after I had my ceremony, I set the firm boundary that nobody else was allowed to touch them. Even when I ask my dowsing rods, because I have children, my children are like, oh, can we use them? And I'll show them the dowsing rods saying no, that they're not supposed to use them. Because you're opening portals and closing portals with your rods, with your being. After I set the boundary that no one else was allowed to touch them, so my energy is only on them. Same with my cards. I don't give personal readings yet with my cards, because if anyone else touched them, I would need to cleanse them after, because their energy is on the card. But that would be so that I could divinate better with them, okay? But when I divinate with my dowsing rods, no one else is allowed to touch them. It's only me, my energy on them. After I set the boundary that nobody else is allowed to touch them, so my energy is the only energy that's on it, I perform my ritual previous to using the rods, and then I go in and I ask questions. And I have a specific spirit that I engage with to answer questions. There are so many ways for you to determine this spirit. You're going to have to find out on your own, or like through dreams. When I say through dreams, like you can write a letter to the spirit guide asking them to tell them who you are, who they are, and you can ask through other ways of divination, through meditation, for the spirit to reveal itself to you and show you who it is, okay? So after you get through your ritual, you have cleansed your rods, no one else is allowed to use them. You have to engage with your rods and let your rods know that you want a yes to be a certain way and a no to be a certain way. Now my rods are open right now, but this is the latent position. This is the position they stay in when I haven't asked a question. As soon as I ask a question, because I've set boundaries already, it's going to do what I want it to do, and that's important. See how they're ready to say yes? That's very important, that you have the strength and the balance. Part of my ritual is that I am veiled, because for my spiritual preference, I am veiled. And I'm not going to give you other details because for protective reasons, and I don't share all of my personal ritual, but I'm veiled when I use my rods. I prefer to be veiled when I'm doing any type of divination. So I've done my clearing questions and opened my rods and connected with my spirit already. So we're going to go ahead and answer some questions. Please open the rods for no. And your rods should be responsive right away. Please cross the rods for yes. Please show me a maybe. Show me a maybe. So one rod open and one rod closed, pointing out is a maybe. Thank you. So let's ask some questions in the next clip. So, and I want you to see, like, I'm holding the rods like this, but like, and they're going to move around right now just because they are. There we go. Straighten the rods. Thank you. Am I a woman? Does the use of cannabis affect my rods? Do I have a pet elephant? Okay. Do I have a dog? Do I have a bird? Do I have children? Am I an atheist? Am I an ominist? Do I work with Hecate? Okay, so so that's it. So your rod should respond to you like that. Now, here's the important part. When you're using your rods, it's no different than using a Ouija board. You need to close and have a ceremony that closes the doors and shuts the doors with your vessel and with your rods. You need to have firm boundaries and you need to say goodbye. You cannot just put your rods down and walk away. They are still alive. So whatever that personal ritual looks like to you, you need to know to close the doors, to close the portals, to deny access. You need to do that after you use your rods. And it's like sealing your spell, okay? And you're going to know how to do it based on your ancestral practices and your ancestral lineage, okay? So that's all.